Thank you for tuning in to MoFirearms.com. Today we're going to talk about the Midland GXT5000 two-way radio for preppers, for people that want a communication device if their cell phone goes out, for hikers, for campers, for hunters, for the outdoor enthusiast who needs to stay in touch with family members or friends while they're doing outdoor activities or, I guess, indoor activities at the mall. GXT5000. Let's take a look. Introduced at the Consumer Electronics Show in 2011 by Midland representative Stuart Barber. The Consumer Electronics Show in 2011, Stuart said that this was a professional, tactical grade, long-range radio made virtually for conditions of war. Now that is a bold statement. Their advertising certainly says the same thing. They have military soldiers on the front, military standard, MIL-SPEC, STD standard 810, waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, lithium-ion battery pack, 2200 milliamps, GXT Pro Series, rugged professional GMRS two-way radio, up to 36-mile range. So, after the Consumer Electronics Show, I watched that review, and I said, I want one. I want two. And so I waited, and they appeared later in 2011, and I waited, and I looked. I looked for reviews. I try not to buy anything without seeing reviews, without seeing good reviews. Unfortunately, I waited and I saw no reviews. I was not about to put the chunk of change down for these until I saw some good reviews. So eventually I said, okay, I contacted Midland, MoFirearms.com. Hey, we have a good audience. Let's see if we can get some test units out. And Midland successfully did just that. They sent us two of these GXT5000s, thankfully. And we tested them. We had them for about a month or 2 months actually right now. And we put them through the test of what they're supposed to do. This review is not paid for, it's not sponsored, it's not endorsed by Midland. They just supplied the radios, they didn't tell us what to say or do anything, and so this review is our complete honesty about this. Philosophy of use on these radios, I think I said it, they're for the hunter, they're for people that want a radio that's not going to break on them. People that are going to use a radio often, stuff like that, they can be used alongside other GMRS, FRS radios. So if you have friends with other radios, and you just want to make them jealous by having a more professional radio, that's for you. A homesteader, a prepper, looking for a long-term durable solution. That's these radios right here. They're not easily lost, because of their size. The other radios we have, LXT300s, you can see a size comparison there. The height isn't too much. It's 1.5 inches taller with the antenna up there. Width-wise, they're much smaller. But the GXT5000s are much wider. This one doesn't have the clip. This one has the clip on. So you can see, size difference. They are much smaller. These have a 2200 milliamp battery also. Battery life was awesome on these things. Size and weight, I did not weigh them, but they're not too bad. I don't know what to compare them to. Really, they're going to be more than this. They just are. That's just how it is. You're gonna pay for the weight of carrying this. But if you need it, you need it. And if you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, then you'll probably need it one day and you won't have them. That's just how it goes, right? With outdoor stuff and prepping. If you don't have them, it's too late to get them. Durability, material. I believe they have, let's see, aluminum cast frame inside. You wouldn't notice it looking at it. IP67 waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, 5-year warranties. Other Midland products have 3-year warranties. I can attest to the inside casing of this aluminum casing, the durability. I had 2 doors open on the car, the front 2 doors. I said, hey, put the radio on my seat. What does my son do? He tosses it over the car through one door, hits my seat, bounces out, lands on the cement of the parking lot. I pick it up, and look at it, and what's the there's a little nick right here. It functions perfectly, it turns on, it's great. I can't imagine throwing this and dropping it on the cement or doing anything, tough with these bubble pack radios. I just wouldn't want to do that. But these ones, I've done it, and it's perfectly fine. I don't mind giving these to the kids. Now, for the price, wouldn't necessarily want them carrying this around where someone could take it from them or something like that, or they could lose it, I guess, technically, but that's why it has a clip. Again, jumping ahead a little bit, very good clip. It also has another holster accessory we'll see later. But that's the durability. I can totally speak for these being durable. If not, 5-year warranty. As long as they don't void the warranty, send it back to Midland. They've been generous enough with me, at least their marketing department. I can only imagine their support department is just as good, hopefully. Battery charging. First of all, battery's 2200 milliamps. That, from what I've read, that's pretty large for a battery on a two-way radio. And from what I know, they lasted a very long time. I really have no complaints about the length of these batteries for when I've used them. I only charged them a few times, actually. I only needed to charge them for a few times. You know, I'd go to work sometimes, and I'd put it on, and I'd put it on scan, and I'd just let it scan, you know, most of the day, and you know, then later the next day, I'd go out with my kid in the woods and use them, and they'd be perfectly fine. You know, they'd still have a full charge. They don't take that much. I mean, just like any other radios, transmitting takes more power, obviously. But this is the charger. You know, with this charger, you can charge one, remove the battery in a second, charge that battery, boom. You know, or if you buy a spare battery, you could charge battery and have a battery ready, you know, in the unit. You know, when you're done, take it out. So anyway, I like the charger. I wish it was a little smaller. Why do I wish it was smaller? Because the thing you have to plug into the back has this huge box. What is, I don't know, like, there's technical reasons behind this. Why does it have a huge box? You know, can't they fit that in here somewhere? You know, because not only do you have this box, you have this cable then, which is long and big, you know, to plug into that box. So you have this, goes into there, which goes into this. Just seems like a lot. Anyway, but that's the charger. You know, I'm happy that it has a dual charger like that. You know, some places you can actually, this one you can too. You can charge a single battery in the front, single battery in the back, without this having to be in there, which is nice. Battery lights up here, light up green when they're charged, and orange when they're charging. So that's good to know. Let's go distance. I have a video for distance here. I was in the house, or actually rephrase. The radio was in the house, in a brick house, sitting by the window. I started driving the other way with the other radio. I'm going to roll in some footage here of the distances and how far I got.
This transmission's from inside the vehicle. All these transmissions will be inside of a van, so the structure of the van may prevent it from going out too. But we are at the end of the driveway. It's a quarter-mile distance. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Height 90 degrees. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the second 90-degree turn, about a mile and a half away, I think. I will show on the screen the actual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning off from the shortcut now, probably a little bit higher than the actual house right now, so reception, if anything, should be good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally reached. I don't know the distance on this. You'll see it written on the screen how far away this is now. If you can hear me, I'll be surprised actually. We'll see with the test how this goes. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I made a left at the stop sign.
We're in the rolling hills of the Ozarks. So there's some hills, there's tons of trees, stuff like that. And Ozark ground in Missouri is mainly rock. So you can imagine that getting in the way. They're rated at 36 miles. You will never get 36 miles or 30 or whatever your radio is rated at, because they have the disclaimer, maximum range can only be achieved over water or open rural areas under optimal conditions. You will never get optimal conditions. That's just how things work. Unless your house is on the top of a mountain and that's where you're transmitting to or from and your other spot's visible. Think of it as a line of sight. Can you almost see where you're trying to transmit to? Anyway, I was shocked by some of the tests. I mean, I knew these would reach out a good distance. You know, a place in the woods, you know, down by the river where we live, these would not reach. They haven't reached. These ones reached easily. I could easily hear the other person, you know, between here and here. These have more transmitting power. That's what it comes down to, obviously. You know, I forget, these are the LXT300s. I forget the distance of what these are rated at, you know. But these are, you know, is a 36-mile radio better than a 30-mile radio? Well, yes, there's a reason why it's rated that. Doesn't mean it's 6 miles better by any means, but it's going to be somewhat better. That's just how it's built. The features of these radios, honestly, they're almost the same as every other radio. You know, this radio has, you can turn the beep off or have whisper mode. This has the same thing. You can scan on these radios. You can scan on these radios. You know, this has high and low power, so if you want to conserve battery and do low power, you know, you won't have as much power to transmit and receive and stuff, but, you know, I'm sure that's good for battery savers. If you're not going to be too far away from your other party, that's good. Top volume knob, great to have a volume knob instead of having to push buttons up and down to go volume. This is much quicker to get on and off, you know. I wish this volume knob had little knurlings or little teeny click marks, like an aim point sight. You know, you get a tactical click, like click, 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 or at least a halfway marker, like a dimple, where you know it's halfway. Car radios have that sometimes, you know, or at least one quarter markers. something like that. You know, because when you're doing Vox and you have a headset here, and you need to adjust the volume for some reason, you know, reaching down, you don't know where the volume's at, sort of, all the time. So you have to go either max or minimum, and then adjust from there and hope that it's at the right spot for you until someone transmits. Then you can adjust it, obviously, by what you hear. Channel scanning, this is one thing I look for in radios, and I just started to do this a little bit. When you're scanning, I don't have another radio really I guess I can compare it to this one, but, you know, it's not like a police scanner. I think police scanners are faster. But when you compare these up as much as possible here, I don't know if I can get this right. I'm going to scan on this one, and that's how fast it scans. I'm going to scan on this one. I can't really see that, though, in the camera there. But, yeah, right there. I just wish it scanned faster. Because say you're talking on channel 1, someone's talking on channel 1, and it's scanning. Meanwhile, if it doesn't say channel 1 right there, it's not going to pick it up. So for example, if I start talking right now on channel 1, you won't be able to hear it at all. End transmission right now, and you still won't hear it. Because it wasn't at channel 1 yet. And so I wish these would scan faster. I don't know if it's a limitation on most radios or not. I'm not sure. But that's one of my little pet peeves. I won't go into a bunch of issues that I had with them right now because I'm not sure exactly. Like privacy code, for example. These, you can have privacy codes. This one you can't. This is a generic LXT300 with no privacy codes. If you set a privacy code on this and you talk on it, and this one's set to the generic channel, no privacy codes, you can hear it on this for some reason. But if I try to talk on this one, on like say channel 3, and this one's set to channel 3 privacy code 71 or whatever, you can't hear. When I transmit on this, you can't hear it on that. But if I transmit on this with a privacy code set, I can hear it on this one. Shouldn't this be secure-ish? I mean, for the privacy code, isn't that the point of the privacy code? But for some reason, this picks it up still. So I'm not sure about that. Again, these are old-fashioned. Maybe these have a wide range of frequencies that it's picking up. I'm not sure. And maybe the newer ones with other privacy codes, maybe it wouldn't pick these up. I mean, but still, you know, maybe I'm lucky I have these things and they could pick up privacy code traffic. I'm not sure. SOS Siren. This is the siren button, SOS. Get rid of it. I don't know why it has it. You know, what professional needs to dial SOS? I mean, I don't know what the percentages are that you really need to that. Again, I don't want to make this a bunch of negative reviews. And I want to make it the truth, too. But get rid of this. You know, get rid of the call alerts. I don't know why radios have call. If you're going to do that, and this is you have to double tap the call button here. This one is the actual button for it. If I give this to someone and say, hey, you know, I'm not sure how to talk on, or if they ask me, I'm not sure how to talk on this, say, well, push the side button. Oh, okay. Well, there's 4 side buttons. I mean, make it simpler for the actual professional radios. They don't even have buttons here, really. They may have 1 or 2, but they don't have all this stuff here. You know, they don't have all this stuff here. You know, they have their UHF, VHF radios, and they're only on like 2, 3, 4 channels. You know, and just a volume knob and a channel knob or something like that. It's really basic. Where if this is a professional radio, you did try to put too many features into it, I think. You know, for this kind of stuff. That's just my 2 cents again. You know, I'm not paid for this review, so I'm just going to tell you what I think of them. Keypad lock. You know, this has a keypad lock too. Great for kids. You know, I'm glad it has that. But again, I'm not necessarily professional. I'm a consumer, and as a consumer with kids, I like that. As a professional, I don't know if I'd really care. You know, as a professional, I would know not to hit menu down. You know, to change channels to 6. You know, I would know not to do that. You know, my kids wouldn't know that, so I'm glad it has a lock. Low and high power. I think I might have mentioned that already. Yeah, you can have it on low power. I just kept mine on high power, and the battery life was fine. Accessories, you know, it comes with this nice belt clip here. It attaches real easily. The spring tension on this is pretty good. It has the little, this little thing right here, so it won't come off your belt. Another thing, this clip is the same exact clip, except it's on a holster system, and this is rotatable. Let's see, 180 degrees. That's as far as it can go. And you can't use this clip on that, obviously. You can use this one without the clip. And it just snaps in there. The reason why I never used this thing is it just adds more weight, adds more bulk to it. You know, the radio's sort of already bulky, I mean, compared to these little ones. You know, and I always thought on my belt, having to click this and then take the radio out, I always thought it was a hassle, so I just like this little clip. Again, that's personal preference. Other accessories, you know, I could tell you what accessories it doesn't come with, or it's not available that I can easily see from their website. A DC adapter. You know, if I want to run it from my car, if I want to use, you know, this, plug it into my car. You know, if I want to take a battery pack has a DC adapter, cord on it, and plug it in and use it from my car, literally. Or if I want to take, a bunch of loop batteries, AA's or AAA's, and I want to run it off these, I can't do it. I'm actually getting into the renewable batteries here, rechargeables. I have a nice charger, have loops, which are pretty expensive, and I'd like to be able to use those for a lot of devices in an emergency situation. These radios, I have to, I guess, get a solar panel system, for emergency situations, and, get the AC power, because it doesn't have DC, and hook it up to here, and then I can charge my batteries. But there's no actually running it directly off the AC/DC. Currently, you have to charge the batteries first. So that's the accessories I wish it had. It does have a large array of tactical accessories. You take this plate off here. It's fairly easy to take off. One screw. You would never really do this in a hurry or anything like that, So excuse me if seem like I'm rushing this. I want to get this review in under 20 minutes, which is a long for review. Okay, tactical accessory goes right here. They have throat mics and a bunch of other stuff that radios have anyway. This bubble pack radio, boom. Same thing, honestly. This is a rubber seal because this is not waterproof radio. This radio is waterproof. What just happened is a good example of what I don't want to happen, actually. This screw falls right out. You can lose that thing. Even some of my kids' toys have a little C rings in here that just clips on this little screw. So when I take this thing off, the screw doesn't jump out and lose it. Even kids' toys can do that. I don't understand why professional radio wouldn't have that. So just something to think of, Midland, if you're listening, which I know you are because you're waiting for this review to hit out. And again, this review isn't to please you guys, honestly. It's for my viewers. It's to let people know. Honestly, it's to let people know how adorable these radios are, which is why I got them. Let's bring just the value. Actually, one more accessory. I know you guys can't do this. FCC rules, regulate FRS, GMRS radios, or whatever. They can't have a removable antenna. Sorry, it doesn't unscrew. So I guess that's an accessory that I wish we could have, but you can't, and it just can't be done. I understand that, Midland. Okay, let's move on to value. I believe these radios are about $120 or $140. They're over $100. Bass Pro has them. Cabela's may have them. They're on Amazon, which is where I would get them. That's a lot. These radios here are maybe $20. What are you paying for? Honestly, you're paying for the durability. You're paying for the ability to drop this on the ground, to toss this in a car, in a trunk, in the back of a truck, to have it fall out of your vehicle while you're driving or while you're four-wheeling or ATVing, have it fall out and be able to know that it's okay as long as you didn't run it over. I'm not sure about running it over. It's shockproof, I have not tested running it over. But somewhere in the last 18 minutes, you've seen, the rain test. I did a rain test. I did, it's sitting in some water test. You heard me say that I dropped it out of a car. It got thrown through a car, through door, out the other door onto the cement. You're paying for its durability. And honestly, let's say manufacturing facts here and advertising facts. You're paying for this. You're paying for the military people to be here. You're paying for military standards 810, water shock and dust proof, lithium ion battery pack, 2200 milliamp. Rugged professional GMRS two-way radio, GXT Pro series. Let's say that again. Pro series. You're paying to have that name, to have that professionalism. You're paying for this nice plastic case. You're paying for, the padded case that it comes in. This case, I wish this insert wasn't here. I'm not going to ever put this radio back inside here unless I'm transporting it and storing it. If I'm transporting it, I'm probably going to transport two radios at once. And this plastic thing inside here is not removable. I can't take this out of this case. This is a nice case. Almost a hard shell. I'd love to be able to use it, but I can't. So I wish that was better designed so I can take that insert out, but it's glued in. As a prepper, as a homesteader, or someone who wants to be prepared, when the electricity goes out, when the lights go out, you need something that's going to last and last years. These, as long as your kids don't drop them or do anything else to them, they will last. But, if you need something that is going to be dependable, it's going to be these. And they're going to be 3 times or 4 times the price. That's just how it is. You look at the other options available. On the internet, even Midland himself, there's plenty of options available, in the same 36-mile category, if distance is your thing, that are for hunters, that are for your outdoor enthusiasts, that are the same price as the GXT5000s, but it comes with 2 of them. So technically they're half the price. But the other ones can accept AA batteries, or the other ones can have a DC charger with them. so you can charge them in your car or charge them, more easily connected to a solar panel or something like that. Whereas they have more accessories to them, stuff like that. Where the GXT5000s they are what they are. You can add a throat mic and other stuff like that. There's a bunch of more stuff I'd say about these, but let's just keep the review at what I said so far. If you have any questions about these, please go ahead and comment below. Comment on the website, milfirearms.com. We thank Midland for allowing us to test these out. We really appreciate it, being able to have them, being able to use them. They were a pleasure to use, pleasure to have around, knowing that they're not going to get broken, not going to get damaged, by having my kids use them, which I think is a great test of any durability product. And this definitely was a durable product. Again, this review is an unbiased opinion, not swayed by Midland at all. They did not pay for or endorse this, and we have to return these radios when we're done. We understand that, and they're in great shape to do that. Thanks to the quality that Midland put into them. So thank you very much. Tune in to milfirearms.com on YouTube. Subscribe to us and like us on Facebook if you can. And look forward to more reviews. One of the reviews coming up is probably the Eneloop battery system, the Lacrosse BC, I think it's 800 charger. I'm moving all my stuff towards that, hopefully soon. Stay tuned for more things about preparedness, self-defense, firearms, and survival.